Okay, guys, today we are going to tie fun little McKenzie Caddis foam floaty extended body bug. This is one of my favorites. We fished a lot. If you don't fish the McKenzie Caddis hatch, you should. It's coming up kind of any day now through the middle of June, and it's a really fun bug. Anyway, on to other news. This coming Thursday, the 28th of April, we have a fly tying night, first one since COVID, really. So we're getting rocking and rolling on those again. So that is this Thursday, the 28th. We will also have a spring cleaning fly tying sale where we're going to get rid of some stuff that's kind of half used, we don't use. It's been given to us through collections of, other people's gear. And so we have a lot of it, and we're looking to rehome it so that people will use it. So if you could use some fly tie material or want to come tie flies with us and hang out, come on down. Thursday we'll be starting at 6 o'clock after the shop closes. So thanks. All right, getting started. We are tying foam body, extended body, McKenzie Caddis, super floaty dry fly. McKenzie Caddis are starting up here, kind of any day now. We'll get the sun coming out and they will start popping off. It's a fun bug. You should have them in your box. Okay, starting out. 50D, as always. We're gonna do a little thread base here on the flat part of the hook. We're tying on the fire hole 320s in a size 10. It is a nymph hook, but I really like the wide gap for doing these extended bodies. We'll kind of come together here in a second. You'll see what I'm talking about. We're just gonna do a short little thread base. And then I built this little body out of foam. All it is folded over foam glued together. So this came off of just a standard sheet of 2 mil chartreuse foam. All I did was cut a strip, fold it over, glue it. So hopefully y'all can figure out how to do that part. Start at the back here. I'm gonna lay down a little bit of pressure. This foam really likes to twist, and so does the hair. That's why I really like using this 50 denier gel spun thread, because it really likes to hold on to it. Perfect. I am gonna throw just a little tiny splash of glue on the bottom here, make sure everything stays where I want it. Perfect. That'll dry out as we finish the fly. Okay. Next step. Pretty easy. We're going to take a grizzly saddle feather, just dry fly feather. This one came off a big whiting saddle that I've got. You can use grizzly, you can use brown. I've used kind of like a blue dun color before. It all tends to work just fine. We're going to tie this one in first. Biggest thing is you want to make sure it's the appropriate size and it's nice and stiff, because this bug is made to be kind of as floaty as possible. Up next, we're just going to put down a little pad of green dubbing. You can use ice dub, you can use hairline dub, you can use whatever you want. I've used the McKenzie Caddis green on this before. I've used the peacock green on it before. It really doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Most important part of this bug is going to be the size and the fact that you've got that extended body nice and bright green. That's what those caddis look like. Go. Nothing fancy there. Now we're just going to wrap this hackle through it. Oh. Okay. Trim that out. Trim out the little extras that we're getting here. I like to kind of walk back onto this dubbing just a little bit, get a nice thread head going, because we are going to set a wing on it. I'm going to trim the top of this hackle off. It's going to be covered up by the wing, so it doesn't matter. That, and it'll help the wing lay a little bit flatter. Up next, we've got olive CDC. These are nice long feathers, and we're just going to stack them together for an underwing. I like to do a little bit of overkill on these ones, so I'm going to use 3, maybe 4 feathers. Yeah, this third feather's a little thin, so I'm going to go to 4. One of the reasons I like doing this with the darker CDC is so that I can put a lighter colored wing on it. That way the bug's easier to see. It's a big bug, so it's pretty easy to see regardless, but I do like having that bright wing. Perfect. I'm gonna do these just to or barely past the end of the body. Trim the rest of that out. Smooth out the head a little bit. Oh, we got that thread fraying just a tiny bit. So that is one thing you got to look out for when you use these gel spun threads. So if that thread starts to fray, it'll all kind of come crashing down pretty quick, but we're going to hope that it works. Little pinch of pretty bright elk hair. Take that, we're gonna go a little bit shorter than that CDC wing, measure it out. I always like to cut it first before tying it in. And that way it sets a nice round head on the end of it there. Another important thing with setting wings, especially on the very, very head of the fly. This doesn't matter so much with stimulators and that kind of stuff, but I like to take my fingers underneath it and pinch and pull up, so that's kind of tough to see, but I'm gonna go right here with my opposite hand. Grab and pull. What that does is it keeps that wing nice and on top, so that way it doesn't spin at all. Also gives us a really clean tie down point. So we can wrap through there a couple times. And then throw one more back here. And we're gonna pull all that back, go straight up to the eye of the hook. Perfect, there we go. That's about how I like it. That head's a little long, but no big deal. Little fish just fine. Pop that off there, and then whip finish, and we are good to go. Super fun fly, super floaty. Like I said, I like doing it on the shorter shank for a couple of reasons. But it makes a really nice dry fly. You can skate it. You can, dry dropper fish it really easily. Here in the next couple of weeks, this will be the rig that I'm running on my boat is one of these, and probably some kind of green caddis emerger below it. So these are definitely one you should have in your box, or some variation of the McKenzie caddis. And if you've never fished it before and you don't know how to fish it, we'd be happy to put you on the boat and show you what it's all about. So if you want to get hooked up with a guided trip for the McKenzie Caddis hatch, it is a special one that you do not want to miss. There you go, little foam body extended caddis.